Hi everyone, I want to share one problem with you that I had on my W204 C Class and how I fixed it. I was driving home and on my dashboard appeared this red battery icon. I found a way to fix it and it didn't even cost me anything at all. I'm gonna share the story with you so it might be also helpful for you as well. Before I start, I want to say that if you like electronics, these kinds of fixing videos and anything related to technology, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue doing these videos, and it really means a lot to me, so thank you for that. I used my multimeter and measured the voltage. I had around 10 volts, which is definitely not enough to charge and maintain the car battery and also for normal operation of the car devices. Immediately I thought that the alternator had a problem. Unfortunately, the alternator is not approachable like on some other car models that I've seen before, but it is not that hard to achieve. So let's start working on it. The first thing that we're gonna do is to remove the engine cover. After that, remove this pipe that goes from the air filter to this front pipe, I would say for breathing. Firstly, remove the plastic clip. I found it easier to start removing it from the air filter side, then it can be easily removed from the front side. We are removing the part that connects the turbo with the air filter. We have two bolts put on the upper part. This can be unscrewed with an 8mm standard socket, the bottom one on the clamp around the turbo's exit with a 7mm standard socket. I was here trying to find a way to remove the air filter's cover, but it is definitely not required. I just thought that maybe there are some bolts on the inner part of the cover, but you won't do it. The filter can be removed by pulling it upwards. You will see it on the video later. After loosening it up, we've got to pull the air filter cover. Then we can continue with unscrewing the bottom cover under the car. You can't see me doing it, but you can hear me unscrewing the screws. To be honest, I forgot how many screws were there. I just used an 8mm standard socket and removed it easily. After that, we've got to remove the pipe that connects the intercooler with the turbo. We have one bolt on the top connected with the upper part of the turbo and two bolts connected with the alternator. I used an E12 torque socket, then I used a 10mm standard socket because I had no space for ratchet handle that my torque socket needs. And also we've got another bolt holding the pipe on the intercooler side, and we can remove it by using a flathead screwdriver. Then I removed the belt by using a 16mm wrench, loosening the belt on this tensioner just by putting tension to the left and with the other hand loosening the belt. Before removing the alternator, make sure that you disconnect the battery in order to avoid any damage. After that, we have enough space to remove the 4 long bolts holding the alternator and remove the alternator out. For that, I used an E12 Torx, then a 10mm standard socket to finish it up. After removing the bolts, the alternator fell down, and I saw that the alternator's bolt for the positive wire, which goes to the positive terminal of the battery, was broken. Removed the connector from the regulator, and after that pulled the alternator out. The bolt hadn't been broken before I started working, but it hadn't had a good connection with the alternator's chassis, maybe due to corrosion. Luckily, I found the problem easier, so we just did a new thread and I put everything back together using the same process as before but in reverse order. So in my case, it was the bolt causing the problem. Because of that, I suggest when testing with the multimeter at the start, also test whether you have voltage on the alternator's back chassis where the diodes are put together. That way you will be able to diagnose this problem accurately. Luckily in my case, when I loosened the alternator, it moved a little bit down and I saw that the bolt was broken. But the same icon and symptoms can be caused by the alternator itself, the alternator regulator, the brushes, in my case part of the regulator, the diodes, or maybe the connection between the alternator and the car's battery and chassis. But in my case it was the bolt, which we solved it easily and for free. After putting everything together, the voltage was around 14.2, which is great. I also did a load test, and after that there wasn't an icon anymore on the dashboard, and so the problem has been solved. I want to say thank you for watching. As I said before, please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see similar videos like this one, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.